reference point, because some people did take her. I was trying to give y'all enough information to explain her. All right, community life. So where has Mike been? Has Mike been in a community for the majority of his life? In a specific community? Yes, he has been with his grandparents pretty much since birth. So for well over 10 years. So he's been in a specific community pretty much most of his life. So where did y'all score community? Ma'am?
I scored it as a 3 because I was thinking it didn't mention any involvement with a community outside of the family.
Okay, so this community, what we're talking about is home, school, the grocery store, the neighborhood, the park, like where they're being. So if a kid lives in Birmingham, now you know Birmingham is very large, and has moved 5 times in the confines of the city of Bessemer, that is a community. If they move from Bessemer to Homewood, to Trussville, to Vestavia, to West End, that's not a community. Like there's not a consistent place for them.
They haven't put down roots.
Yes. So we're looking at a community as a whole for this kid, where they are and are being. So for Mike, it sounds like he's been in the same house, in the same neighborhood, his family is there, his school is there, his friends are there. So when you read this, he has an identified community. He has more than limited ties. So if it said that Mike had moved in the last 6 months and doesn't get to see his previous best friend anymore, that may be a 2. But Mike is in a community that he sees his friends and things like that consistently. So that is a 1. Okay? So we're talking about the connections that they make in a community setting, and we're talking about everything.
So in order to get it to a 0, if we were going to case plan and work with him over the next year, what we would try to do is get him more involved with community organizations, like Humane Society, if he enjoyed working with animals, okay? Habitat for Humanity. Similar to what Dolores, she was involved with some church activities, so get them more integrated and connected in the community so they become a viable part of the community.
Okay?
So right now he's at a 1. It's a useful strength level because he's been there all his life and he can navigate this community probably pretty good, especially at 2 and 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yes. Yes. All right, the next one is relationship permanent. So this is the historical question. All right, so has he had pretty consistent relationships with his family for the majority of his life? Yes. He had the bump in the road when he was little, when he had to be taken away from his biological parents. But he has been with his grandparents for a long time. His aunts and his cousins have been there consistently. So where did y'all score relationship permanence?
I have a 0.
A 0? So it's going to be a 1 because of he had the disruption when he was little. You have to take that into consideration. And we also are very concerned about Granddad's health. And if Granddad passes away, we've got an even bigger disruption. So we're at a level of a 1 right now. Things have been pretty consistent for him for most of his life. So in Dolores' case, Dolores was adopted when she was 5 with her family after being removed from a home for allegations of sexual abuse. And she's been with an adopted. It's going to be a 1 because of he had the disruption when he was little. You have to take that into consideration. And we also are very concerned about Granddad's health. And if Granddad passes away, we've got an even bigger disruption. So we're at a level of a 1 right now. Things have been pretty consistent for him for most of his life. So in Dolores' case, Dolores was adopted when she was 5 with her family after being removed from a home for allegations of sexual abuse. And she's been with an adopted family for well over 10 years also. So she, in the same aspect, we've got to count the situation when she was little and kind of what's going on with her currently, so she would have a 1 also, okay? You've got to look at the entire lifespan of the child to see, so y'all in residential treatment, y'all may have 19 bumps in the road. So you're gonna have to look at all of those to see where that consistency may be for your kids. And that may be hard for you to determine for some of your real life children, okay? All right, natural supports. Does he have any?
Let's go to 3.
Okay, who are his natural supports? We have friends. We have girlfriends. Is there anybody else? So friends always count as natural supports. Friends, family members count as natural supports. Like we said, like the neighborhood grandmama, the candy lady down the street, people like that all count. So for Mike, he does have natural supports. Those are identified. So in Dolores' case, Dolores had one friend, one girl who was a friend. She and the little girl had a falling out because the little girl got a boyfriend, and Dolores didn't have one. So Dolores didn't have any more friends. And I don't know how many 16-year-old girls can only name you one friend they have. Boys can, but girls cannot. Girls are gonna name you 23 people that are their best friends in the whole wide world. So Dolores was a 3 because she didn't have any other friends. Mike has friends, and those people are there and they're consistent. Now, how much healthy development his girlfriend is providing for him, I don't know exactly. But Dr. Linson scored this one as a 1. Okay?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So for natural support, I'm thinking about the coach, but you explained that friends are his natural support, are
Yes.
the only.
The coach is paid.
Yeah. So we have to think of
There's no other?
non-paid and nobody that's family. Non-paid, no family.
With the pastor and things
Yeah,
of
so
that nature?
pastor or youth minister, we said that you would, we would count them as natural supports.
I'm sorry, so I mean, they only mentioned friends. There's no other natural support.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
We can only go with what's on the paper today.
Right, so I'm just surprised that it's 1.
Is it significant?
Because natural support, I'm thinking he has a limit to 1 friend only, not other people.
Girlfriend and.
Well, it mentions friends, plural, and a girlfriend. So we assume there's more than 1 or 2. Okay? All right, so for resourcefulness, we look back over all of the external strengths. So we have some really good external strengths, okay? So we have 1s in family, interpersonal, community life, relationship permanence, natural supports. And then we have 2s in educational and vocational. We have a 3.
Deep breath, relax. Don't think about the test vignette. All right, everyone, I should have passed out this little document. This is just kind of an overview of the Alabama system that we've created to enter the data on your consumer. So once you all get certified, go forth after, this afternoon as certified super users, what you'll actually administer to the youth in your programs will be entered on the AppHass. So you'll be done with the parade site for a while, at least up until recertification. This is our website. Easiest way to find it is type AppHass, ABHAS, in Google. Because if you actually type in www.mh.alabama.gov/AppHass, it doesn't always pull it up. But if you go to Google, it always pulls it up as the first choice. Right now, all of y'all can see the site over here on the side where it says documents. Y'all all could log in now, or y'all log in. Go to the site. It's got your CAMS user manual. It's got certification forms, which is what I've passed out. Paper testing forms. If you want paper bubbles,
those are there. There's also the early childhood can, 0 to 4, glossary, and Dr. Lyons' PowerPoint presentation. If you ever have trouble falling asleep and want to look at his statistics, those are available. They're really interesting. All right. What I've handed all of y'all is this, and we just updated it to reflect the Prague Foundation's new site. Since pretty much everyone in here except for Wellstone and Alt Point and Amanda will be new providers. Your executive director at, or CEO at your center will have to complete the provider registration agreement. Basically, it just proves, they're going to designate who a designee is to monitor all this. Will probably be one of y'all. I've actually already had y'all all added to AdPass. So right now, Laurel Oaks, Hillcrest, all of y'all are actually already in there. You don't have access though. Once we get a designee, anyone that you want to have access to the website has to have this individual user agreement form completed. All this says is that for the designee, so whoever that first form, your executive director designated to be over this, is saying that these are the staff that you want to have access, which means they have access to client level data. They have to sign this saying they're going to keep it confidential. For those that know my boss, Kim Hammett, she will sit at the beach on vacation and pull this site up. It's usually when she's sitting me to do work on the beach. So, by signing this, because you can access this website from anywhere. If you want to do it at the beach, fine. You guys keep it confidential though. So they're signing that form. Anytime anyone leaves your agency, the designee will have to fill out that user removal. Because even if they leave your agency and their Prague Foundation certification ends, as long as they're still in the AdPass system, they can still log in and see all your clients' data. So anytime anyone leaves, make sure we get a user removal. What I do is I mark them as inactive, so they can't log in, but then if they ever come back to your agency, I can just turn them back on once I get that first form. Yeah.
If they're marked as inactive, do they stay on that list where it says they have overdue cans?
The client will, or the consumer, because it's the cans will be tied to the pull up those past due ones.
Yeah.
It'll list the consumer. It'll list the last person who did it, the assessor,
Which may be inactive.
which may be inactive, but then whoever carries that caseload now would need to click on that and update it. Okay, I'm going to log on, and I'm not going to pull up anybody's data. We created a test provider with fake information, so y'all can just kind of see it. All right, I'll give you, let's see, users. All right, again, this is all fake people. Fake are no longer, are people at the Department of Mental Health. So this is what you'll see for an agency. Again, if you're the new providers, y'all don't have anyone entered yet. But once you send in those individual user agreements, we build profiles for everyone. And it says active or inactive, so they'll still show up. Even if you've had them removed, it'll just show them as inactive so they can't access anymore. We are about to start something where it says days since last login, where the system will administratively close someone. Because if they haven't logged in 2,000 days, do they really need access to this system? Probably not. On that initial form, your agency will designate an IT person, which is very important because you see where it says reset password? Your IT person is the only one at your agency that will be able to reset your password.
Is it only one?
No, you could actually have 2 or 3.
Okay, then.
Yeah. Because, people leave, so I wouldn't give every